Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 aye. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 aye. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 aye. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 yeah, aye, aye, yeah, aye, aye. One more time. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Be open for something wonderful to happen. Be open to the possibility. Aye, 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 aye.
Good morning. Welcome to your neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation. My name is Reverend Sally Fritchie, and I'm delighted to serve as minister here on the treaty land of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. It is wonderful to be here with all of you today. Happy summer solstice to all of you. Today is also Father's Day. It's also Indigenous Peoples Day. It's also Pride Month this whole month. There is a lot going on. There's a lot to celebrate and honor on a sunny Sunday like today. Many thanks to Suzanne Mazars, our music director, for our gathering music, and thanks as well to Kim Knutson and Allison Kabayama, who will be sharing musical gifts throughout today's service. For those of us in person, please remember to be aware of the various needs and boundaries that we have while we are with one another in person, honoring our mask-required seating area just there, and keeping space clear for mobility devices to move between chairs. We're a community of many ages and abilities, which means that we embrace whatever little noises or distractions might come with being together, and we're committed to a love that makes space for all. If you have a phone or other device that can be silenced, I invite you to do that now, unless your device will be needed in order to access and participate in the service. And a reminder, this is an all ages service. We have Kat giving the message instead of being in the rainbow room. And some of our younger people will actually be the ones leading the time for all ages. Kids who show up are invited to stay in the sanctuary and participate fully in as much of the service as they like. You might notice we're in a circle today and have some comfy alternative seating throughout. And that's for anyone. Anyone's allowed on the couch. Kim is demonstrating how one can luxuriate on it. Thank you, Kim. That's to bring some of the rainbow room energy out here into Rafos Hall and let the grown-ups get a taste of the circle-based, comfier type of space that the kids enjoy every week. Our services usually take 70 to 90 minutes, and we try to keep all ages services a bit shorter. So if there's anything you need to make yourself comfortable during that time, please feel free to move around, stretch, fidget, spend time in the wiggle room where there's a comfy couch and a quieter space, or at the activity table where there's art supplies and fidgets. And today for Indigenous Peoples Day, we also have some special art pages that everyone's invited to check out. If you're new and would like us to keep in touch, please fill out a newcomer card with your contact information and leave it in the offering plate later in the service. And know that whoever you are and wherever you are in your relationship to religion, to spirituality, and to this place, we are glad that you're here. So let's take a moment to remember that we are all here together to turn to greet those around us, maybe with a high five, a fist bump, or a wave, and also to wave and greet all those on Zoom who can unmute and greet one another face to face. We will come back together with singing.
Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whoever you are, we welcome you. Wherever you come from, we welcome you. Whomever you love, we welcome you. Whomever you love, whomever you love, we welcome you.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. This week, today actually, Canada recognizes National Indigenous Peoples Day. We here at Neighborhood choose to acknowledge the history and ongoing efforts of Indigenous peoples every Sunday when we gather here. But today I invite us to reflect even further on the meaning of this gesture and of this National Day. Many people know Indigenous Peoples Day as a celebration, and it is. It's a celebration of cultures, languages, histories, traditions, resilience, but most importantly, community. But it's also an invitation to learn, an invitation to listen, an invitation to build relationships grounded in respect. My own Indigenous roots come from the Canary Islands. The Indigenous people of the Canary Islands are known as the Guanche people. Like many Indigenous communities around the world, their history includes, and our history includes, colonization, cultural disruption, displacement, and attempts of erasure. And yet, despite those efforts, our culture still survives today. Identity survives, stories survive, language survives in fragments, traditions survive, ancestors survive through memory and through those who continue to honor them. One of the lessons Indigenous communities around the world teach us is that identity is not only about who we are as individuals, but it's about who we belong to, the land, the ancestors, the generations that come before us, the generations who will come after us. In many Indigenous worldviews, community is not optional, it's essential. And I think there's wisdom in that. The Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation are the treaty holders of this land where we are gathered today, and this place has been home and is still home to the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and many other Indigenous Métis and other First Nations people. We acknowledge these relationships out of respect and desire to remain committed to accountability and a meaningful reparation. We live in a society that often celebrates independence, but Indigenous teachings remind us of interdependence, that our lives are connected and that our well-being is connected as well, that our futures are connected, that we have responsibilities to one another and we will need one another to get through whatever comes next. Let's take a breath together, root ourselves here in this place, and join in reading or listening to our invocation words. Let us cast the circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here. A space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life. A life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families.
Thank you. I'd like to invite neighborhood member and board member Mark Tim forward to light our chalice. And as he lights the chalice flame, symbol of Unitarian Universalist tradition, we will sing our chalice lighting song together. Thank you, Mark. And I will invite Kim forward to lead us in an opening song.
Ani Bojo, I don't know if, yep, okay. Ani Bojo, my English name is Kim, and I'm Zawa Biankwe, Yellow Blanket Woman, and I'm Makwa Dodem, the Bear Clan. This song is a Lakota song, and the elder that brought this song to our drum group many years ago, her name is Mavis Archambault, and it's called Braveheart. So when I was thinking about today, the reason I chose this song for this time period is that we're all warriors, and we're all fighting a fight on our own path. And when we stand up for our own truth, I feel like that's a warrior spirit. Lead, so let's break it down. So everybody go, yeah, yeah, way, way, higher.
Yeah, yeah, way, way, higher.
Way, higher, way, higher.
Way, higher, way, higher.
Way, higher, way, higher.
Way, higher, way, higher.
Yahweh, way, ha.
Yahweh, way, ha.
Not Yahweh, way, higher. I did it wrong, sorry.
Yahweh, way, higher.
Way, ha, way, hi, yo.
Way,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, well, well, higher.
Yeah, yeah, well, well, higher.
Well, higher, well, higher, well, higher, well, higher. Yeah, well, well, high, well, high, well, higher. Yeah, yeah, well, well, higher. Yeah, yeah, well, well, higher, well, higher, well, higher. Yeah, well, well, high, well, high, well, higher. Yeah, yeah, well, well, higher. Yeah, yeah, well, well, higher, well, higher, well, higher. Yeah, well, high, well, high, well, higher. So even though even though we interject with other things or you don't know the song, the beauty about vocables is that what matters is that you're sounding your voice.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Allison. Thank you all for sounding your voices. So you will sometimes hear Unitarian Universalists refer to ours as a living tradition. You may have heard that before. We're a tradition with a history, with specific roots and origins, yes, but we are not a tradition of commandments. We do not write anything in stone in Unitarian Universalism. We are ever changing, growing and branching and actively seeking new ways to be in right relationship with the world and with one another. We're a faith tradition of seekers and learners where revelation is ongoing and we consider the whole universe to be our scripture. Within Unitarian Universalism, learning can be a lifelong spiritual practice, and there is no end to the lessons the world can teach us. We live in a society where student is often used as synonymous with a certain age group or life stage, and once you're done being a student, you're an adult who is expected to be the one who knows or the one who teaches, who leave your learning days behind you. And it can be simultaneously joyous and very humbling to break out of that expectation, to reconnect with the part of yourself that says, I didn't know that, or, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way, to be a learner again. For our reading today, I offer the words of Potawatomi mother, botanist, and author Robin Wall Kimmerer on what it means to be really open to learning the lessons the world is trying to teach us. She writes, the kind of attention that I think it takes to learn from the world is this really open and awake kind of listening. You're not really listening with your ears, but looking at beings with that notion that the way they live, the way they're in relationship can be a lesson to us. Recognize that we humans don't know everything, and that we think of ourselves at the top of this pyramid and recognize that, oh, no, our oldest teachers are growing at our feet. And to open yourself to what they have to tell us. So humility, thinking of ourselves not as masters of the universe, but as the younger siblings of creation. Humility, attention, our best teachers growing right there at our feet. Where do we look when we want to learn? Where do you look for learning? We talk a lot in Unitarian Universalist circles about our 8 principles. We even use them as the themes of our Sunday services this past year. But alongside our principles, did you know we also have 6 sources? We do, 6 broadly defined sources of wisdom that we draw from, including wisdom of the world's religions, the words and deeds of prophetic people from history, and the reason and results of scientific inquiry. And one source, the first source of the 6, is our own direct experience. Because your life, your lived experience, your relationship to the world around you can be absolutely full of powerful wisdom and spiritual lessons. Not just for you, but for anyone able to hear your story. Today, Kat is going to offer some of their own lessons learned, and a few of our younger people will offer their own teachings as well. I invite you to listen, to learn, to consider all the unexpected places that you have found wisdom in your own life. Today we celebrate the lessons from our rainbow room and from all the places beyond, the unexpected, the little, the overlooked, all of the lessons that we have learned and yet will learn in the future. And Suzanne will lead us in our next shared song, which might be a familiar one for you.
Morning, everyone. Please join me in singing Over the Rainbow. I invite you to rise in spirit and body if you're willing and able. Somewhere over the and that I heard loved once in a
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the magical underwater town of Coral Cove. Down here, fish go to school, turtles tell terrible jokes, and sometimes jellyfish accidentally bump into things because they forgot where they were swimming. Today is a very exciting day because Professor Ollie Octopus is teaching a lesson called How to Be a Good Friend Without Accidentally Sitting on Someone. Octopus proudly enters. Audience laugh. Professor Ollie has 8 arms, which means 8 chances to wave hello. Can everyone wave hello with as many arms as they have? Perfect! You're all honorary sea creatures now. Here comes Minnow the minnow. Minnow swims happily around the stage. That's the stage. Minnow is small, very small. So small that once the shrimp asked if Minnow was a baby. Minnow said, "No, I'm just fun-sized." Minnow loves school, loves friends, and especially loves snacks. In fact, today is Coral Cove's famous underwater snack festival. So, food blankets. Look at all the delicious seafood, not really food. A giant pizza reef, a donut island, a cookie cave, an egg rock, and somehow, I don't know how, but a floating ketchup lagoon. And so nobody knows why, but scientists are still investigating. Everyone happily explores the snack-shaped landmarks. Actors move around pretending to enjoy them. Come on, pretend. But suddenly, dun dun dun, here comes Sharky McChump. Sharky likes being the biggest fish in every single room, even when there isn't a room, because they're underwater. Sharky notices little Minnow, and Sharky has a choice. Can everyone help me? Should Sharky be kind or mean? That's right. But unfortunately, Sharky does not listen very well. Sharky shrugs. Instead, Sharky starts teasing Minnow. They point, they laugh, they make fun of how tiny Minnow is. Minnow's smile starts to disappear. Minnow swims a little slower, and a little sadder. Now look around. All the other sea creatures see what is happening. The turtle sees, the crab sees, the jellyfish sees, the seahorse sees, everyone sees. But nobody does anything. Characters awkwardly look away. Have you ever seen something unfair happen and not know what to do? That can be really hard. Professor Ollie notices something wrong. The octopus gathers around into giant bubble circles. Hula hoop. That's definitely a hula hoop. Professor Ollie asks everyone to think. How would you feel if someone laughed at you? The sea creatures start acting out feelings. Sad, embarrassed, lonely, frustrated, maybe even a little crabby, especially the crab. Then Turtle Tina has an idea. She slowly, very slowly, because turtles do everything slow, very, very slowly, they get an idea. The audience can help. Everyone, make a giant bubble sound. Ready? The bubble sound gives Tina courage. Tina swims over to Minnow. Crabby follows, Jelly follows, Seahorse follows. Soon a lot of sea creatures join. Nobody is fighting Sharky. Nobody's yelling. They're simply showing Minnow, you're not alone. Now Sharky notices something strange. The more friends gather around Minnow, the less powerful Sharky feels. Because bullying grows when people stay silent. But kindness grows when people stick together. Professor Ollie starts a game called the Friendship Relay. To play, sea creatures must carry the magical snack treasures through the coral hoops. The pizza, the donut, the cookie, the egg, even the mysterious ketchup lagoon. So you gotta pass the blankets, gang. But there's one rule. Nobody can do it alone. At first, Sharky tries to do everything themselves. Shark struggles dramatically. The donut falls, the pizza spins away, the cookie escapes, even the ketchup has caused confusion. Absolute underwater chaos. Everyone laughs, even Minnow, for the first time in a while. Then Minnow offers to help Sharky, because kindness is powerful. Even when someone hasn't been kind, Minnow helps Sharky. One by one, the friends join in too. Together, they move all the treasures through every hoop. Success! Sharky starts to realize something. Having friends feels a lot better than making fun of people. Shark looks thoughtful and apologizes through actions. Minnow accepts the apology. The friends cheer. Professor Ollie cheers with all 8 arms. The jellyfish accidentally cheers upside down. Everything is wonderful. Before we finish, let's make one final promise together. When I say, if someone is being bullied, you say, we don't swim away. I say it when I say it. If someone is being bullied, we don't swim away.
I feel like a proud mom. Good morning, everyone. I'm just so happy, wow. Thank you, everyone that took part in the Time for All Ages. I really, truly appreciate it. You got a little look into the Rainbow Room and the kind of creativity that flows through it every single Sunday. My name is Kat. I have the privilege of serving as the Director of Children, Youth, and Families here at NUUC. That means I'm often the one teaching and facilitating our kids' learning in the Rainbow Room on Sunday mornings, but that's not a one-way process, and I'm also learning a lot from them too, as you can see. And today I wanted to share some of the lessons I've learned, not just from working in the Rainbow Room, but from my own journey and the new connections I found within Unitarian Universalism. As Unitarian Universalists, we often talk about living our values. And I've discovered that some of life's greatest lessons on how to do that don't come from books, they don't come from workshops, and they don't come from the classrooms. They come from our children. They come from living through hardships, they come from living through heartbreak, they come from our community. And sometimes they come from finding your way home after being lost for a very long time. Here at Neighborhood, we work and we play and talk together, trying to put the UU principles into action and explore our own identities and beliefs. We try to create a safe spiritual home for all who need it, and I found home there too. The first lesson from the Rainbow Room that I want to share with you all has to do with our UUism's first principle, the inherent worth and dignity of every person. And to me, it's a beautiful principle. It's probably my favorite one. But how many of us have trouble believing that it applies to us too? Sometimes, right? That's a lesson that I'm still learning, even as a grown-up. And so today is Father's Day, which brings up a lot of complicated emotions for many of us, me included, because when I was a child, my father left me. And at the time, I didn't fully understand what was happening. I only understood the absence. I understood wondering why. I understood watching other families and noticing what was missing in mine. I understood carrying questions that didn't have any answers to them, or maybe they did and I just wasn't aware of them. For 20 years, my father and I lived separate lives. 20 years. That's enough time for a child to become an adult, and that's what happened to me. Enough time to graduate school. I did that 4 times. Enough time to fall in love. I did that. I got married. Enough time to build an entire life. And recently, after 2 decades apart, we reconnected. I wish I could tell you there was some perfect Hollywood ending. I wish I could tell you that all the hurt just vanished. But life is rarely that simple. And what I learned instead is that healing is not about erasing pain, but healing is about making room for complexity and honoring those really tough feelings. It's about holding grief and hope in the same hand. It's about recognizing that people are imperfect and that relationships can be messy. And this picture right here is actually a picture of us reconnecting for the second time, because I didn't want to take a picture the first time. I surprised him at his 60th birthday. I went to Montreal and with my wife, and we surprised him at dinner with over 100 people there. So this is him crying in my arms. It's a really beautiful picture and moment that I'll really cherish for a long time. So this is also about understanding that our stories are never truly finished. There's also always another chapter to our story. There's always the possibility of growth. Working with children has reminded me of this. When we're young, we have an incredible capacity to begin again. One difficult moment doesn't define them. One mistake doesn't define them. One hard day doesn't define them. Children constantly remind me that becoming is an ongoing process. And that's true for all of us, not just children. Long before I found my way to NUUC, another part of my identity was shaped on the ice. I was a competitive figure skater, and I spent years competing and traveling across North America. People often see the glitter, the glam, the costumes, everything that goes along with that. They see the medals, they see the performances. What they don't always see are the early mornings, the falls, the bruises, the moments when you're done and you just want to quit. Figure skating taught me discipline, but more importantly, it taught me perseverance. And when you skate, falling isn't a possibility, it's a certainty. You will fall again and again, every single time. The question isn't about whether you'll fall, though, in figure skating. The question is when you'll get back up. And that lesson has followed me throughout my entire life. I've fallen hard. I've failed. I've doubted myself. I've felt lost. I've questioned where I've belonged. But every time I've gotten back up. Not because I'm uniquely strong, but because I never got up alone. Someone always helped. A friend, a coach, a mentor, a community, just like this one. Which brings me to another lesson I've learned in the Rainbow Room. We're not meant to do life alone. I've been so grateful for the help and support I've received here at Neighborhood, even as someone brand new to this community. And when I got sick, when surgery and health complications kept me from being here numerous times, and when my life threw unexpected chaos at me over the past 6 months, there were people ready to step up and hold things together for me. And for that, I want to say thank you. I've been so blown away to see community in action here, and I'm so grateful to have found this place. So I think we need a little movement break, because that was a little heavy. So let's play a little game, just to, I think I need a moment. I like to call this the friendship freeze dance. We don't have music, though. I totally didn't. It's okay, I have music on my phone. Oh, we have Suzanne. We do. Can you play some music for me? Anything. Thank you. Okay, so when you hear the music play, if you feel called to do so, and you're willing and able, you may wish to get up and displace yourself around the space and let yourself feel the music. You may wish to stay in your seat during this period if you do not wish to participate, and that's okay. Maybe some of our dancing friends can come and find you, and some of our sitting friends can do this. When the music stops, I'd like you to find someone and share a fact about yourself with them. Then the music will start again, and we will do this for 4 rounds. So I'll repeat that just quickly. So the music's gonna play, then you're gonna dance around, and when the music stops, you're gonna find somebody that's near you, you're gonna share a fact about yourself with them, maybe share a little dialogue for about 10 seconds or so. Music's gonna start up again. You're gonna find somebody else after you're done dancing and share another fact with them, if you feel called to do so and you're willing and able. Okay? All right. Thank you. And then just stop it. All right, let's find a partner and share a fact about yourself. If you're in a trio or that's fine. You can share facts with a trio, a duo, a throuple, or whatever you are. And we begin again. Okay, let's share fact number 2 with somebody. Again, if you're in a throuple or some situation like that, that is okay. Let's share a fact together. And we begin again. Okay, I don't even know. I love baking.
I recently got 2 awards for
I'm so proud of you. And we begin again. Last and final time. All right, everybody, if I can have you back at your seats, please. And we can talk about our facts later on, after the service is finished. It's okay, we're good. Thank you so much. Wasn't that fun? One of the most beautiful things I witness every week is friendship. And I hope that we just built a couple new friends here today and learned some new facts about each other we maybe didn't know, or maybe we didn't know somebody that well that maybe we just bonded with for a couple new seconds. And it's just that easy, right? It's just a quick conversation, a quick fact sharing. It's not hard. And I really encourage the children and youth in the Rainbow Room to talk openly and honestly with each other about different things, but I also encourage everybody else to do the same thing. So children don't care about status or the way that the way the grown-ups do. They don't care about a lot of what we seem to care about. They don't care about how much money someone has. They don't care whether someone is a millionaire. They don't care if somebody has a master's degree, what have you, right? So they care about whether someone is kind, whether someone will play with them, whether someone sees them, whether someone includes them, whether someone will like what they like, has the same similar interests as them. Belonging begins with being seen, being heard, being understood. And in a world where so many people feel invisible, that lesson feels more important than ever. And this month is also Pride Month. Woo-woo. As many of you know, I am queer and non-binary. There was a time when I wasn't sure there would be a place for all of who I am, let's be honest. And a time when I wondered if I could and would have to choose between belonging and authenticity. A time when I feared being misunderstood. Just like many other 2S LGBTQIA+ folks, people know that feeling. We know what it's like to search for places where we can exhale for just a second and be our true selves. Places where we don't have to explain ourselves. Places where we don't have to shrink into a little tiny little box. Places where we can simply just be. Pride Month is often associated with celebration, and celebration is important. I will give you that. But pride is also about survival. It's about resilience. It's about community. It's about generations of people who fought so that others could live more freely. It's about refusing to disappear. And perhaps more importantly, pride is about belonging. Not belonging because you've earned it, not belonging because you've proven yourself, belonging because your existence is enough the way you are. Belonging because your worth is inherent, belonging because you are human. That is profoundly a UU message. And it is one I hope every child who walks through our doors comes to believe about themselves. Not someday, but today. We also recognize National Indigenous Peoples Day today. Woo-hoo! A day to celebrate the rich cultures, histories, traditions, and contributions of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people across this land, and we now call Canada. This day is an opportunity for celebration, but it's also an invitation to reflect, and reflect deeply. For many of us, reconciliation can feel like a large and complex concept. We may wonder where to begin. It's a long road. The truth is that reconciliation starts with something simple, a willingness to learn, to listen, and acknowledge the realities of our shared history. It means taking time to understand the impacts of colonization, residential schools, the 60s scoop, and the ongoing inequities that Indigenous peoples continue to face even today and probably will continue to face for a very long time. It means recognizing that these are not just chapters in history books, they're lived experiences that continue to affect individuals, families, and communities across generations. Learning can be uncomfortable at times. It may challenge what we thought we knew, but growth often begins with discomfort, and meaningful change begins with understanding. So today, I encourage each of us to take a moment to read, listen, or learn something new. Read an Indigenous author, listen to Indigenous voices, learn about the nation whose traditional territory you live on. Support Indigenous artists, businesses, and organizations. Engage with curiosity, humility, and most importantly, respect. National Indigenous Peoples Day is not only about looking back, it's also about looking forward toward a future built on truth, respect, justice, and meaningful relationships. As we recognize today, let us all commit ourselves to ongoing learning and action. Let us move beyond acknowledgement toward understanding, beyond understanding toward solidarity, and beyond solidarity toward meaningful change. May we honor the resilience, wisdom, cultures, and contributions of Indigenous peoples not just today, but every day. Because we live in a society that often celebrates independence, but Indigenous teachings often remind us of interdependence, that our lives are connected, that our well-being is connected, that our future is connected, that we have responsibilities to one another. Children understand this instinctively. They know that everyone deserves a place in the circle. And perhaps that's why working with young people continually inspires me. They remind me that inclusion is not complicated. They remind me that curiosity is stronger than fear. And they remind me that kindness is transformative. And they remind me that community is built one relationship at a time. Now, as I look back on my life, the child whose father left, the figure skater chasing impossible dreams at one point, the queer and non-binary person searching for belonging, the person reconnecting with family after 20 years, and now the director of children, youth, and family programs, I realize all of the experiences point towards the same truth. We are always becoming. We are never finished. Growth doesn't end when we become adults. Healing doesn't happen all at once. Belonging isn't a destination. It's a practice. And community isn't something we find, it's something we create together. And there are no shortage of lessons I've learned from the Rainbow Room, from pride, from Indigenous teachings, from friendship, and from my own life I've learned. Every person wants to know that they matter. Every person wants to know that they belong. Every person wants to know that they're worthy of love and connection. And every time we choose kindness, curiosity, inclusion, and compassion, we help create a world where that becomes possible. So may we continue building that world together. May we continue making room for one another. May we continue growing. May we continue learning. And may we never forget that each of us belongs within the great and beautiful circle of community.
Thanks, Kat. So for the folks that can stand, stand. And the next song is one that neighborhood knows well. It's the Eagle Song, or in Anishinaabe, Megazay. So today is the summer solstice, and take a moment inward and think about in yourself what you would like to honor this day. The sun at its highest point. What in you has grown, and what have you grown into? For all my relations.
Let your body rest in whatever position feels meditative or prayerful. You might lift your chin, drop your shoulders, put your hands on your heart to feel your own drum beat. As we take just a moment to hold all that has been shared in this space today. We rest in gratitude, deep gratitude for all the good dads, gratitude for all the sources of nurturance, support, gratitude for our roots in the land, in our ancestors, the things that bring us strength, that keep us moving forward. Gratitude for being able to see the world for being able to return home. We rest as well in hope, sometimes complicated by grief, hope that we will find those things we've been missing, hope that we will find the place that we are moving toward, that we will be accepted there, that we will be able to make the transitions we need to make. I invite you to find your own gratitude, your own hope, your own grief, and lift it up to the light. We'll take a moment to breathe. You might use this space to find your own words of prayer, your own mantra, or simply listen to the beat of the drum. Thank you. May all prayers, spoken and unspoken here today, be answered in every way possible. And I hope that we feel the presence in the circle of all that we need, the sources of life that flow through community and through this space. Amen. Blessed be. And thank you for being the circle that holds this every week. We're moving into our next element, which is the time for our offering when we pass the basket and do what we need to do to continue the vital work of this community. Your volunteer efforts keep us going week to week, but rent and salaries are paid and programs created through our communal financial support as well. I invite you to contribute whatever generous looks like for you. The greeters will pass the baskets, and anyone who chooses to give, we thank you. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it. So if you have found love and acceptance here, if you found home here, if you have known kindred spirits here, let this offering be a token of gratitude for our common life as we build the common good. And as the greeters take up the collection, I'll share a few things happening in the life of our community in the coming days. First of all, we have a C meeting today after the service. This is the Social and Environmental Action Team. I think they'll be gathering just in a circle of chairs here in Rayfos Hall. You don't have to be a member of the committee to join. There will be pizza, and you're welcome to bring your ideas about how we might engage in shared action for the care of our world as a community. And also today, this isn't an announcement slide, but if you're here for the new member luncheon, we're going to meet in that side room over there where there's a table for us. So those who are here for that, don't be alarmed. The C meeting is not usurping our plan. This Thursday, we are having an interfaith Danforth Multi-Faith Commons Pride concert. So 3 choirs are gathering together. We're going to sing some beautiful Pride anthems. It's free to attend. There will be a reception after, open to the whole community. Please consider attending if you're free that night. I think it's going to be an incredible time with some incredible music. There also will be a trans pop-up choir this weekend. So at the Trans March, folks will gather to sing together, led by Suzanne. And if you haven't had a chance to attend the practices for that group, there is going to be a little bit, attend anyway, first of all, but there's going to be also a little bit of a chance to learn some of the songs before that Thursday choir concert. So if you just show up early to the choir concert, you'll get a chance to pop in and be ready to pop up on Friday. Next Sunday, there's going to be a beautiful photography giveaway. We heard earlier that Peter is getting ready to move locations, and he has quite a collection of beautiful photography, framed, mounted, and we are going to be the beneficiaries of his downsizing. So if you need art for your walls, definitely take a look next Sunday after the service. And here we have our summer Sunday schedule. This didn't go out in the newsletter because I hadn't made it yet, but it's our plan for the summer Sundays. We will have no service on July 5th. That's the important one. So if you show up here on July 5th, you'll be the only one here, and the doors will be locked and nothing will be going on. And then we'll be alternating our kind of regular services and what we're calling simple joys and sorrows, which will be no tech, so no Zoom, just kind of gathering in a circle with a small group and doing some kind of shared joys and sorrows ritual. No sermon, just very simple. A chance, anyone who shows up that Sunday will have something to connect with, and I'll be leading those pared down, simplified services. And we'll make sure that this information is available more than just this slide, but we wanted to get the word out as soon as we could. I think that's it. Next Sunday is Pride Sunday. The future is queer. I will be leading that service. We'll have our spirit choir up here in all their rainbow finery. Our service leaders will be H.E. Casson and Deb Bertazon. And the Rainbow Room will be talking about pride and enjoying rainbow fruit cups. So you don't want to miss it, whatever your age. And let me end by saying there's always more information than we can fit in these announcements, and you should make sure you're signed up for our newsletter and checking the slides in the cappuccino room to make sure that you know everything that's going on here in neighborhood, or at least 90%, because some things don't even make it in the announcements. And I will say thank you so much. Anyone who contributes to our collection, to our offering, you are keeping this congregation going, and I know that you all contribute in countless invisible ways as well. So may your gifts and your generosity continue to nurture the life of this community, and I thank you. And with that, Kim has our closing music, a neighborhood favorite, the traveling song.
Oh, I did forget to mention the Eagle song is an Anishinaabe song, and Joanna brought it to our circle. This song is also an Anishinaabe song, and the elder is Alex Skeed. He's from the Lake of the Wood up near, somewhere near Kincardine. Yes, stand if you're able. And if you're going to take a lead, rather than nod your head, because I can't see everybody in a circle, maybe if you raise your hand, then I can, yeah, we can accommodate that. your hand next to the person or the shoulder or elbow, and we'll sing the last one all together. 1, 2, 3.
If you want to keep the circle, and I will invite Mark forward to extinguish our chalice as we sing our chalice extinguishing song, and then into our closing blessing.
Thank you. May we continue building this world together. May we continue making room for one another. May we continue growing. May we continue learning. And may we never forget that each of us belongs within the great and beautiful circle of community. Amen.
Thank you. And with that, our circle is open. Go in peace.